Creek. Now let's all play What's My Line? And now, live from New York, let's meet our What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And now, the marvelously funny Joey Bishop.
Didn't have to be that lengthy, Dorothy. To my left, ladies and gentlemen, the star of the Broadway hit Chin Chin, one of my favorite leading ladies, Arlene Francis.
And now a gentleman who has just returned in the company of his wife and my husband from Deerfield Academy in Massachusetts, where they heard our respective sons raise their voices in song on Spring Day. This is kind of a come-down for him. Here he is, Bennett Cerf.
It wasn't a come-down, Arlene. They were really great.
No, I mean, this is a come-down.
Oh, this is a come-down.
After the glorious young voices.
Well, here about to raise his voice, not in song, our famous news commentator and panel moderator, John Charles Daly.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that Bennett is full of the spirit of May, and I trust the rest of you are, because we ought to celebrate, I think. May only comes once a year. The last time I took a
So
look.
cold up there. You never thought it was May. It was like January.
Well, it's been a beautiful day. I don't know how it is all over the country. We've had a glorious day here in the Northeast, but I must say for May, it's cold weather. But we'll help you warm up, because I've got some good news for you. You're going to be blindfolded immediately, so you can put your blindfolds on right now for some very interesting occupations that will show up in the next half hour. We will also have a famous mystery guest before my friends on the panel a little bit later in the program. And we'll meet our first challenger after this word from the... And now to meet our first challenger. Are those blindfolds all in place, Pat?
Yes.
I think they gave me the wrong blindfold, John. I think they expected a female panelist here.
It looks very much like you were getting ready for Joey Bishop's show on Saturday night. Where did you get that from? You can't see anything. That's the main thing, right, Joey?
No, I'm not too crazy about your tie, but I can't see you, John.
Okay. Well, our first contestant to enter and sign in, please. All right. You're familiar with our scorekeeping system?
Yes.
In that event, we'll let the audience in the theater and the audience at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we can tell you that our guest is salaried and deals in a service. And let's begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Sir, is it I heard you answer John Daly. I presume that you are a gentleman. Is the reason we're wearing masks because we might recognize you if we didn't have them on?
Possibly.
Would you have, has your picture appeared in the newspapers within the past 2 weeks?
Yes.
Has it appeared in any special section of the newspapers?
Yes.
Are there more than one of you?
Yes.
Would the special section by any chance be the sports section?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you work for a non-profit-making organization?
Yes.
You said yes?
Yes.
And they're laughing. Is it any branch of the armed forces?
Yes.
Is it every branch of the armed forces?
Yes.
But do you have something that holds you together as sort of a team interest?
Well, I think here we would have to agree, Dorothy, that there is a condominium here among
There's
us.
a what?
I beg pardon?
I wouldn't know him if I saw him, John.
No, there is an interest that holds them all together, yes.
Do you have anything to do with our space activities?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Bishop.
Is this, some... are there more than 2?
Yes.
Is there a representative of each branch of the service here?
Yes.
Are you distinguished by the fact that perhaps you have received an award that perhaps not many men have received?
No. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you all of the same rank?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Do you have any present place in some of the work that is being done in the field today, either in the air or on the land or on the sea?
You mean of a particular military nature? Having direct application to
Having
new
something
policies?
to do with the activities of the armed forces today?
Well, yes, I'd say they're all involved in activities involving the armed forces.
Have you anything to do with teaching of people in the armed forces?
No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you work indoors rather than outdoors?
Sometimes.
Do you have desk jobs ever?
Well, I would say here, Dorothy, to be fair, that we can agree that our guests may certainly be required to spend some portion of their time at a desk because of the necessary commitments to their positions, but that this is not their primary duty.
Do you have anything to do with recruiting?
Yes.
But it's a relationship that isn't the basic relationship again.
Huh?
Do you have anything to do with logistics?
No.
6 down and 4 to go.
Well, if they have anything at all to do with recruiting, I served in 1942, so you can leave, John. They have to do with recruiting, and yet we are wearing masks because we may recognize them?
We didn't want you to leave abruptly, Joey.
Recruiting, then, is not their primary reason
Right. That's right.
for being on the show.
That's right.
Were they at any time the faces of these gentlemen on the posters of recruiting?
No.
7 down and
so
3 to
stupid
go.
about that. I thought it was a rather clever question.
I'm going to give you 1 more minute, Miss Francis.
Do you have anything to do with the very young people in America?
Yes.
Do you have anything whatsoever to do with the Boy Scouts of America?
No.
8
Oh,
down
I
and
picked
2
the
to
wrong
go.
young people. I meant the Peace Corps.
And that, again, would be just something that is really likely to happen as a part of the overall responsibilities. Mr. Sir.
You have nothing to do directly with West Point or Annapolis or the Marine teaching base Quantico. Is that correct?
Yes, they do not have, no.
Do you, are you wearing uniforms tonight?
Yes.
How do you look?
Have you got anything whatever to do? Excuse me.
Yeah, I'd love to have a...
Have you anything to do at all with the shot that the space shot that we're going to make on Tuesday when we send a man around the world?
No, I'm going to... Joey, you got an idea? Yeah.
I think they're just a couple of guys that went over the hill and want to go back.
Well, when you're speaking of the leaders of the Force Service Band, I don't think we can say that they've been over the hill. You may take off your mask. Colonel George Howard of the United States Air Force, and Colonel Hugh Curry of the United States Army, and Lieutenant Colonel Albert Schoepper of the Marine Corps, and Lieutenant Anthony Mitchell of the United States Navy, the leaders of our great, and I use the word here in all of its fullest meaning, our great service bands in the United States. that you four don't mind my doing this, for the first time, I think, now I've known the great service bands. I started in radio with CBS in Washington many, many years ago, over 25, and one of my earliest assignments was to go over to the sail loft in the case of the Navy and over to the Naval Station in Washington and to the Army headquarters and put on the great concerts that we used to put on in radio. And during every week we used to have concerts out of Washington. But I think for the first time, is it not true, that the service bands have made recordings for the commercial market? And they're among really the finest musical organizations in this whole world. And the proceeds of these records that are made and are now commercially available all over the United States will go to the National Cultural Center that's being built in Washington, D.C. And the good news is they sold over 100,000 records already.
Good.
I hope it's 100 million. One for everybody in the country, is the way it should be. May I thank all of you for the panel and for all of us for coming up, visiting with us.